So there I was, minding my own business, finishing up the review of these 4 speakers there, and this came through the post. The ARC On EAR from IK Multimedia, and I haven't really read anything about this, but here's the box, and here it is. So what this is basically is it's a very high-end headphone amp, right? You can feed it from analog or USB, and this is hefty, this puck, by the way. This is metal, it's not plastic. It's got a very high-end DAC in it if you feed it from USB, and it works with the ARC software to give you a balanced headphone experience in your headphones. Whether, as far as I understand it makes your headphones have a much better EQ balance. Also, as far as I understand it, it then allows you, if you want to dial up the sound, the EQ curve in your headphones of a variety of famous studio monitors, so that you are in effect mixing on the EQ curve of those famous near-field monitors of your choice from the list, as far as I understand it. So you get this, you know, quite weighty metal puck headphone amp. It's got a nice little rubber ring all the way around the base, which is very handy because it is heavy, and you put it down and it absolutely stays solid. It ain't going to slide anywhere. Also in the box you get this really nice hard clamshell case, because obviously you can take this little headphone amp anywhere with you to connect to anyone's system, anywhere you're working. Nice little clamshell case which has got a rather nice looking analog and USB lead in there, with the necessary adapter plugs for the analog lead as well. So yeah, look, I don't really know much about this thing, but let's get it connected up, get the software, it's the wrong way up, get the software installed and check it out. Okay, so I've got the ARC On EAR physical unit plugged into the Mac via USB, and I'm recording the headphone output from the unit to another machine. So we're capturing the headphone output from the ARC On EAR, and because that's the only place that you hear what the ARC On EAR software is doing. You don't hear it as part of the system audio, you only hear what the ARC On EAR software is doing from the physical output of the unit. So this is the first time that you'll have heard this. I don't think anyone else on YouTube has captured this. So you can actually hear what this software is doing in combination with the physical unit. Okay, so here we go. Here's the software. Here's a preset that I was working with earlier, preset 1. There are 5 preset positions here. I can reset that with reset to default. And this is a vanilla preset. Okay, and the first thing you do is you choose your headphones. Now there's a vast amount of headphones here, including things like Superlux, Pioneer, DJ headphones, Behringer ones. It's not just expensive ones. Like a vast collection of headphones. But it's very important that you are actually using the headphones that you select. Okay, so now for example, I have got a cheap pair of AKG K52s. I really like them. Great little headphones. There they are, and they're actually included, even though they're only sort of 25, £27 pair of headphones or whatever they cost, 30 quid. Boom, select them. And notice, by the way, there's a safe headroom here. You can switch that off. Each pair of headphones has a different safe headroom, which I presume is based on their impedance and the power of the voice call and everything, as IK Multimedia have measured all these to ensure that this safe headroom is brought in with each pair that you select, so you don't overload the output and get clipping. Okay, it can, it works. Okay, so I select my headphones, boom, and there's their EQ curve. Boosted in the bass end here, the low mid, which is why they've got that warm bass sound, and they're scooped here, which gives them that tight sound in combination with a nice sort of hyped, raised, airy top end. Okay, that's the curve of the K52s in the ARC On EAR database. Now, you're only going to hear this properly if you're actually listening on a pair of K52s on this physical output here. We are going to hear this EQ curve, but it'll sound different in a pair of K52s. But anyway, here's a Logic sample pack copyright-free demo. Let's hear it. me reset that. Yeah. Now I'll go through and just choose a few different headphones and you'll hear the EQ curve change each time. Okay, and we'll have a look at the EQ curve for each one I load. Here we go. Essentially, I mean, that's the HD25, the original. I mean, we all know they had that massive hyped bass end, you know, and there it is. Okay, so you choose headphones. Okay. I'll go back to my K52s, even though I'm not actually monitoring on those. Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Okay, now. And that's the curve. And if you're listening actually on the headphones that you've chosen, you'll hear that curve. It'll be correct for the headphones. Oh, here we go. Okay, now we bring in the calibration. And notice before I do that this curve of the headphone is post at the moment. Orange, post. Here, look, post, right? Bring in the calibration, boom. And it now changes to be blue because the original curve of the headphone is now the pre-EQ curve. And the post-EQ curve, you can't see it because it's a flat line on the horizontal, but on the horizontal there. But if I use the tilt here to tilt it, there it is. That's the calibration of the K52, the original blue curve, calibrated to be flat. And if I tilt it, you can see the actual line. Alt left click to reset this. So now we'll hear it with the calibration in and out, and you'll hear it get flatter. Here we go. Essentially, yeah, now with the calibration, I'll adjust the tilt and you'll subtly hear, you know, the bass end get more on the treble end less and the treble end more on the bass end less. Here we go. Etc. Okay, so now we can bring in the studio simulation. And once that's in, we can then use the virtual speakers. Okay, so I'm going to leave this stuff here for a moment. Also the phaser line, we'll leave that for a moment. Go straight to the virtual speakers. Let's just get this done and dusted quick. And now that I've calibrated the cans to be flat based on the original EQ curve, and remember, this is going to sound more accurate if you've got the correct headphones plugged in that you've got here and that are being analysed and calibrated based on their original curve. But now we can mix through a simulation of different speakers. And these are NS10s. I'll bring those in and out. Here we go. And as I bring the speakers in, that's the post curve now. The orange curve is the EQ curve of the selected speaker. So now the headphones are reproducing that EQ curve of the original first kind of generation NS10s, and that is it. Yeah. If I go here, I can choose the later ones, and it's a slightly more refined curve, but it's still the same, you know. So I'll just go through and switch a few of the speakers to give you some examples. Here we go. KRK. Smartphone. That's the EQ curve, yeah. TV. Tannoy. Oh, sorry. That's like an ATC or something. Couple of iLouds there. That's a Focal or something. That's an Adam or something, right? It's really clever, very, very clever. And by the way, once you've brought in the speakers, you can switch this to there and have this visual space display all the frequency response. I'll just mess with the width now and the ambience. The ambience, I don't hear it, but the width you can hear. Here we go. There's great stuff, and there's the phaser line here, but you're not going to really. It's subtle. You can hear it, but it's subtle. Yeah, fantastic stuff, man. And you can have up to 5 presets. Also, there's an EQ you can use to actually manually tweak things if you want as well, with a low shelf, a high shelf, and a peak band, and the Q can be adjusted for those, and you can manually tweak the band yourself. Yeah. There's no like alt left clicking on this, unlike alt left click resets everything else, like say this, but it doesn't reset the nodes. So to reset that, I've got to just type that in as 0. Okay, whatever. But yeah, and then finally the buttons on here. This brings the calibration in and out, as you know. That brings the studio in and out. And then finally, the function button here can be assigned to any of these things here. So it's on mute at the moment. And it works. It's absolutely brilliant, that. Absolutely brilliant. Put it on dim. I love the way it flashes when it's dimming. That's brilliant. That's a really great touch. Also, it could be assigned to mono. This really works. Here we go. Whoops. Virtual speaker. It could bring the virtual speaker in and out. Well, that'll only be on if the studio simulation is on, obviously. So here we go. And the phaser line can be brought in and out with the function button. You actually do hear it. It's subtle, but you hear it. And then the LED off can be also assigned to it, and it just dims and all the LEDs, so it's not sort of bright in a darkly lit room, I suppose. If you're overloading the DAC, by the way, all the LEDs, the little one on the side here and the ones on the buttons, flash, 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 flash if you overload the DAC, by the way. Finally, the play pause. It doesn't work to control the door, sadly. It doesn't. I'm going to ask IK Multimedia about that, because if they could get it to do that, that would be brilliant. What it will do, I can tell you, is if you've got your YouTube music open or your YouTube playing videos, when you hit that with the play pause assigned to this function button, it starts and pauses YouTube videos or YouTube music. So I presume it's going to do the same for Spotify or other stuff like that. But I can't get it to do the door. So maybe they'll do an update that will make the door start and pause, because that would be really, really useful. Okay, but there you go. Look. That's the basics of it without going in and making this last too long. Also note, by the way, look here, the battery level. All the time that I've been working on this video, it's been charging. So when it's plugged in and it's functioning on USB, it's charging at the same time, because you can take this out on location and run it off its own internal battery, because you can have it connected up via analog, in which case it's not taking a charge from USB at the same time. So it can run in the field on its own internal battery. And it works up to 192K. Very high quality DAC in here, remember. So it'll handle all the way up to 192 kilohertz conversion. Great stuff, man. Oh, and one other thing, and I tried this out. If you connect this up via USB to, at least this works on a Mac, and assign the ARC on ear as the output for your door, then set the sample buffers in the door to like low 32 or 64 samples. And then if you are only creating music where you're playing master keyboard to trigger software instruments, drums, etc., to create dance music, electronic music, or to do score composition, it works in real time. You can play the software instruments from your USB master keyboard, and it triggers the software instruments, and you hear them on the output of this in absolute real time with the minimum amount of latency, just like using a traditional audio interface set to the lowest possible buffer. So that it functions as an audio interface for that kind of compositional work, which is a bonus, because you don't need to go and buy one of those. So it's an absolutely fantastic product. It's solid metal, it's heavy, it's weighty, it sticks on the desktop really, really well. It's really well designed and really well thought out. And obviously it's using the same, or the ARC on ear software is related to the ARC software that IK Multimedia developed for calibrating their speakers. But damn it, it works, this thing. It really, really works. And I'm incredibly impressed with this. Incredibly impressed. I think this is just a super product. I really do. And remember, it functions as an audio interface as long as you're not recording, for doing any kind of software type composition work. Yeah, so bonus round there. Yeah. Okay, look, so as I always say at the end of these videos, are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I mean, are you not entertained? You're actually getting to hear the damn thing. I don't think anyone else on YouTube is doing this. Please subscribe. Smash the like button, which is what everyone says now. Put on the old notifications and comment. You know, what do you think? And I'll see you for more videos soon. Okay? Ciao.